Team Trees is an initiative to plant 20 million trees by the year 2020. It is set up by a group of YouTubers spearheaded by Mark Rober and Mr. Beast. And they've actually made significant progress towards this goal to date. So as you can see, they've planted over 16 million trees. In this video, I'm going to talk about this project that I created that displays the amount of trees that have currently been planted to date. And I'm also going to talk about my PCB tree and how they're going to fit into this equation. My original plan for this project was to create a custom PCB with lights on it that would represent 1/20th of how far we were to the goal, so every time we passed 1,000,000 an extra light would light up. But it seemed incredibly wasteful to build something to represent a number that probably won't make sense in a couple of weeks' time, get it manufactured, get it shipped over from halfway around the world, or the full way around the world almost. So seeing as this initiative is about helping the planet, I thought it would be a better idea to reduce, reuse and recycle, so use something that I already had here. So you might recognize these displays from the YouTube subscriber counter videos. I made a subscriber counter for Mark Rober and Mr. Beast actually. And yeah, so you might also recognize the pattern. It is from the Tetris clock video, and I'm using my ESP32 matrix board that I sell on Tindie, and I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely eye-catching anyways. The code for getting the count is available on my GitHub. I have one that reads it just to the serial monitor, and I've this one here, so if you want to write it out to this exact display, but if you want to write it out to any other display, you can just base it on this one, or the serial monitor one is probably simpler. This actually reads the data directly from the Team Trees website on the ESP32. It also works on the ESP8266. So if that is something that you were interested in on how I went about doing that, I would be happy to make a video about it. Just let me know in the comments. So what are the PCB trees and what do they have to do with this? So firstly, the name. If you've ever heard an Irish person pronounce the number 3, then you would understand the name of it a bit better, I think. So it is a PCB shape, so it's a circuit board cut out in the shape of a tree, and it has 12 lights on it that light up in a pattern. So it's controlled by an Tiny 13, which is a small microcontroller, and has different modes to power it. So each light is a different mode. A lot of them are just faster and slower, kind of blinking modes, but then there's also different ones such as keeping them all on. And you can also flash them all. They're powered by a coin cell battery that can either stand up as a stand, or you can hang them from a Christmas tree. The PCB trees were something I created last year, but originally there was just this green one here, and then this year I created a black one and a white one. The three at the back were using these reverse mounted LEDs, so these are actually quite difficult to solder if you're not comfortable with SMD soldering, but they do give a nice effect that they shine through the board and kind of diffuse through the PCB itself. This year, to help more people get involved if they want to create something like this, I made a through hole version, so the parts at the back are still SMD, so it's still a small bit of a challenge, but the LEDs in the front are way easier to solder than the reverse mounted ones. So what do they have to do with this initiative? Well, I've created an offer where any PCB trees, or the through hole PCB trees that I sell, I will donate $1 to the Team Trees cause. If we go to the Team Trees website, you can see here that the two counts match up, so 16,076,872 trees is a lot of trees, but I actually owe it some from my offer of the PCB trees, so I'm just going to show you how easy it is. So I owe it 12 trees, not 125 trees. And then I can complete donation. And there we go. There is 12 more trees planted. Pretty simple. So, are we going to save the world by planting 20 million trees? Probably not, but I think the whole goal of it is a pretty nice one, right? Like, there's nothing negative about planting more trees, so that seems like a good idea to me. The other thing that I think is kind of important about it is it's just to kind of raise awareness of, to do something. Like, it doesn't have to be huge changes, but maybe if there's something in your life you think you could maybe improve to help the planet, that would be a good thing. I don't think it has to be like a zero waste thing or anything as extreme as that. Just minor changes that you think that could make a difference. One that we did, for example, was we cancelled Amazon Prime because we found we were just buying individual things like so quickly without even thinking about it, and just the amount of packaging we were getting. So now we kind of just batch our Amazon order together. Again, is that going to save the world? Probably not. I think it's also important that, we're not all Elon Musk or that, so we can't contribute that heavily to it. But, there's a lot to be said about the kind of collective strength of the masses. Probably 5, 6, 7 million trees are probably made up of like huge donations. But that means there's still another 7 or 8 million trees or more that were made up of just the regular donations from regular people. So yeah, I think it's probably good value as well. I actually don't think I could plant a tree for $1, so it seems like good value to me to be able to pay someone else to do it for that much. But if you have the means to plant trees, I think that's a good idea. Overall, I think anything you can do to just help improve the planet is a good thing. I'm the father of 2 daughters, both below the age of 5, so I'm hoping that there is a planet there for them in the future, and hopefully for their kids if they ever decide to have them. So, any small change is probably a good thing. So that's it for this video. Hopefully it didn't come off as too preachy. It's definitely a different kind of video than I'd normally be used to making, so sorry if it did. I'd like to thank my GitHub sponsors for sponsoring me. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot.